What do you think is the highest place that humans can live in? Honestly, many people believe that it's impossible to live in high mountains because the air is thin, the cold is intense, and almost no plants grow there. But in reality, there are communities in the world that live at over 16,000 feet above sea level. In these places, daily life is a huge challenge. But despite this, there are people who permanently live there. There are houses, schools, churches, markets, and families who have lived for generations in these high mountains. But how do they survive in such a place? What is the reason why they chose to stay here? And what does it feel like to live in high places? And that's what we will find out. But before we start the discussion, I would like to ask you for a like and please subscribe to our channel. This is a huge help for us content creators. So let's get started. Number 15, Gasa Jong, Bhutan. In the northern part of Bhutan, near the border of Tibet, you can find Gasa Jong. It is approximately 2,800 meters, or over 9,400 feet above sea level. This is not the highest place on this list, but it is one of the most remote communities with permanent residents all year round. The word Jong means a large fortress that serves as a government office and a monastery for monks. So it's not just a simple village. Many of the local government's activities are also done here. Gasa Jong was built in the 17th century by order of Jabdrung Ngawang Namgyal, the leader who unified Bhutan. This location was chosen because it is elevated, and the surrounding valleys are easy to monitor. It was also important for the country's defense back then. Life here is not easy. During winter, the temperature drops to minus 10 degrees Celsius. It also rains often. When it snows, people sometimes have difficulty traveling. The residents live a simple life. Most of the houses are made of stone and wood. The water comes from mountain springs. There is also a small school and a health clinic for the residents. In recent years, Bhutan has started to introduce ecotourism in the area. Gasa is known for its beautiful hiking trails and natural hot springs. But development is still limited because the government wants to preserve nature and the peaceful way of life in the community. Until now, Gasa Jong remains one of the quietest and most isolated permanent communities in the Himalayas. Number 14, Rinconada, Peru. There is a town in the world that is so high up that many people have difficulty breathing when they first arrive there. But surprisingly, thousands of people still choose to live in this place. That town is Rinconada in the country of Peru. It is located in the Andes Mountains, and it is about 5,100 meters or over 16,000 feet above sea level. Because of this, it is recognized as the highest permanent settlement in the world because the place is so high, the air is thin. This means that people inhale less oxygen. Even just walking can make them tired. Others experience headaches, dizziness, or difficulty breathing while their bodies gradually adjust. There are also almost no trees around the town. The place is too cold and high for normal farming. That's why most of the food and other necessities have to be brought in from other towns. If life here is that hard, why do people want to live in Rinconada? The answer is simple: gold. There are many gold deposits in the mountains surrounding the town. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, the price of gold rose rapidly around the world. Because of this, thousands of people went to Rinconada. Some were miners. Others started small businesses to make money from the growing community. Today, it is estimated that about 30,000 to 50,000 people live here. It's hard to know the exact number because many people move from place to place, and many mines are not formally registered. But even though there are many residents, basic services in the town are still lacking. Electricity is not always available. The roads are also difficult to travel on, especially when the weather is bad. In many areas, there is also no proper sewer system, so it's hard to keep the surroundings clean. Gold mining is the main source of livelihood for most people here. In some mines, they use what is called the Cachorio system. In this system, a miner works for 30 days without a regular salary. After the 31st day, that's the only time he is allowed to take as much gold as he can or as much as he can carry out of the mine. This system is like a gamble. If the miner gets lucky and finds a lot of gold, he can earn a lot. But if he only gets a small amount, he will almost have nothing to bring home after a month of work. That's why many people hope that someday they will be the lucky ones. Despite all the hardships, this is still a real community. There are stores, markets, churches, small eateries, and children playing in vacant lots. Life goes on as normal even though the weather is freezing and the air is thin. For most of the people living here, they don't stay because life is comfortable. They stay because they believe that a small piece of gold could change their family's life. In La Rinconada, every day is hard. But for many people, the hope of finding gold is the reason why they continue to live in the highest permanent settlement in the world. Number 3, El Aguilar, Argentina. In the mountains of the Andes in northern Argentina, you can find El Aguilar. This town is about 3,700 meters, or over 12,300 feet above sea level. It's not a tourist destination. It's a real town where families live all year round. El Aguilar was founded in 1929 to support the large zinc and lead mine. Even now, mining is still the family's livelihood. It's the main source of income for most residents. Because the area is at a high altitude, the air is thin. Even climbing stairs or carrying things is more tiring than usual. Many people also experience altitude sickness while their bodies are adjusting. It's estimated that around 3,000 people live here. Most of them work in the mines. Others work in schools, hospitals, offices, and other community services. Despite its remote location, there is still a school here. There's a health center, sports area, community center, and a small movie theater. There are also festivals that showcase the culture of the indigenous people of the Andes and modern Argentina. But challenges are always present. During winter, roads can be closed due to snow and strong winds. When that happens, the arrival of food and other supplies is also delayed. Despite all of this, El Aguilar continues to thrive. This town proves that it is still possible to build a strong community, even in very high and difficult places. Number 12, Tuiwa, Tibet. On the Tibetan plateau, you'll find Tuiwa, one of the highest permanent settlements in the world. It stands at over 5,000 meters, or about 16,600 feet above sea level. This is not a mining town or a military base. It's a small community of Tibetans who primarily raise livestock. Life here is extremely difficult. There's only about half as much oxygen in the air here compared to places at sea level. Crops also barely grow because the ground is extremely cold for most of the year. Water is sourced from melting ice and mountain springs. Other food, medicine, and supplies have to be brought in from distant towns. Even simple tasks are more exhausting. Taking care of animals, fetching water, and building a fire all require more effort. Scientists have also studied the people who live here. According to studies, they naturally have a greater ability to withstand thin air compared to most people. There are also no restaurants, shopping centers, or many vehicles in Tuiwa. Life is quiet, and the community is close-knit. Despite the extreme cold and thin air, Tuiwa remains one of the highest permanent communities in the world. Number 11, Alma, Colorado. Alma is located in the state of Colorado in America. It is situated at approximately 3,200 meters, or over 10,000 feet above sea level. This is the highest incorporated municipality in the entire United States. This means it has its own local government, and there are people who permanently reside here. Alma started as a mining town in the 19th century. It officially became a town in 1873 after gold, silver, zinc, and lead were discovered in the area. Currently, Alma has a small population. Many of the residents work in nearby towns and commute through the mountains every day. Because the area is elevated, the air is thin, winters are also long, and snowfall is frequent. That's why houses and vehicles need to be prepared for extreme cold. Despite this, the community is peaceful and orderly. During summer, they even hold art and music festivals that attract visitors. Many people choose to live in Alma because of its peaceful environment and beautiful view of the Rocky Mountains. Number 10, Wenquan, Tibet. Near the border of Xinjiang in Tibet, you can find the small community of Wenquan. Its name means hot spring. It is located at approximately 4,800 meters, or over 15,900 feet above sea level. It is one of the highest administrative villages in all of China. It is estimated that around 200 or even fewer people live here permanently. Most of them are Tibetan families and some government personnel. Wenquan is close to the Qinghai-Tibet Highway and the Qinghai-Tibet Railway, the highest railway in the world. Because of this, it is easier to reach than other high-altitude communities, but life here is still not easy. The air is thin, and there is only about half the oxygen compared to sea level. That's why newcomers get tired easily. The houses are made of stone and mud brick to better retain heat inside. Electricity comes from small generators and solar panels. In recent years, the Chinese government has added some basic services such as better water supply, a health clinic, and improved insulation for houses. But the harsh climate remains a challenge. When the weather and water supply change, the livelihoods of families who depend on raising animals are also affected. Despite all of this, people continue to live in Wenquan, one of the highest permanent communities in China. Number 9, Rinconada, Chile. In the northernmost part of Chile, you can find Rinconada. It is close to the border of Peru and Bolivia, and it is at an altitude of about 4,300 meters or 14,000 feet above sea level. It is estimated that only about 100 to 200 people live here permanently. That's why this is one of the highest continuously inhabited communities in South America. Rinconada is surrounded by tall volcanoes and vast grasslands. The place is also known for its lakes where you can see pink flamingos. Most of the residents raise llamas and alpacas. These animals are important because they provide wool, meat, and livelihood for the community. There is a small school in the village, but when the children reach high school, they need to move to another town to study. The number of tourists is also gradually increasing because of the beautiful scenery. But it still hasn't become a major tourist destination because many people have difficulty breathing at high altitudes. Until now, Rinconada remains peaceful, and the residents continue to preserve their traditional way of life. Number 8, La Paz, Bolivia. La Paz is the highest capital city in the world. It is located in Bolivia and is situated between approximately 3,200 to 3,000 meters above sea level, depending on the part of the city. The city stands within a deep valley surrounded by high mountains. Because of this, La Paz looks unique compared to other capital cities. In the lower parts of the city, it is a bit warmer and there is more oxygen. Meanwhile, in the higher areas, it is colder and the air is thinner. Because of the altitude, many tourists quickly get short of breath when they first arrive. Some also experience it, altitude sickness, while their bodies are adjusting. Despite this, life in La Paz is normal. There are schools, businesses, government offices, and millions of people living here all year round. La Paz proves that even if a city is at a very high altitude, it can still be the center of business, culture, and government of a country. Number 7, Shingo, India. In the mountains of the Himalayas in India, you can find Shingo. It is approximately 4,400 meters or 14,500 feet above sea level. Fewer than 200 people live here permanently. Most of them belong to the Brakpa, a small ethnic group that has long lived in this region. Shingo was not established because of mining or tourism. The community survives through farming and raising animals. Because the air is thin and the climate is cold, only a few crops can be grown. These include barley, peas, and some root vegetables. They also raise yaks and goats for milk, meat, and wool. Their culture is also important to them. To this day, they still celebrate their traditions, dances, and festivals that are passed down from the elders to the children. The residents have a close relationship. When something needs to be fixed or when heavy snow arrives, the whole community helps each other. Despite the extreme cold and high mountains, Shingo remains inhabited and is still one of the most remote permanent communities in India. Number 6, Chivay, Peru. In the mountains of the Andes in Peru, you can find Chivay. It is located at approximately 3,600 meters or 12,000 feet above sea level. This is the capital of Caloma province and has a population of about 5,000 people. It is also one of the most important towns near Colca Canyon, one of the deepest canyons in the world. You can still see the history of the Inca and the Spanish era in Chivay. There is an old church, a plaza, and stone streets that are still being used today. The town is also known for its colorful traditions. During festivals, the residents dance while wearing their traditional clothing. La Calera Hot Springs is also near Chivay. Many tourists and residents come here to relax in the hot water from underground. Despite its high altitude and thin air, Chivay remains vibrant and is still one of the most important towns in the Peruvian Andes. Number 5, Karzak, India. In the region of Ladakh in India, you can find Karzak. It is located at approximately 4,500 meters, or over 14,800 feet above sea level. Fewer than 200 people live here permanently. That's why it's one of the highest and most remote communities in India. Because the place is so high, the air is thin and life is difficult. During winter, the temperature drops to minus 20 degrees Celsius, and the whole village can be buried in snow. Most of the residents are Changpa, who take care of yaks and goats. From these goats comes the famous pashmina wool, one of the most expensive types of wool in the world. In the middle of the village stands a Buddhist monastery that has been there for over 300 years. Until now, it remains an important part of the community's life. Only a few tourists come here. The government also intentionally limits development to protect the environment. Despite the extreme cold and thin air, people in Karzak continue to live there while preserving traditions passed down for many generations. Number 4, Potosi, Bolivia. In Bolivia, you can find Potosi, one of the highest cities in the world. It is over 4,000 meters or 13,400 feet above sea level. During the Spanish era, it was one of the richest cities in all of the Americas because of the vast amount of silver extracted from Cerro Rico, or Rich Mountain. Until now, more than 200,000 people permanently live here. Mining is not the only livelihood here. There are also schools, universities, hospitals, markets, and city museums. Because the place is at a high altitude, many tourists experience altitude sickness. But for the residents, this is already a normal part of their lives. Potosi is also known for its old city center, which has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site because of its historic buildings and churches. Until now, Potosi remains an important part of the history and culture of Bolivia. Number 3, Laya, Bhutan. In the mountains of Bhutan, you can find Laya. It is one of the most remote permanent communities in the country. It is over 12,000 feet above sea level. It is not easy to get here. You need to travel for several hours first and then hike in the mountains for almost 2 days. Most of the residents raise yaks. They also collect cordyceps, a type of fungus used in traditional medicine and is highly valuable. During winter, the temperature drops to minus 15 degrees Celsius. That's why families just stay in their homes while taking care of their animals. Women in Laya are also known for their unique traditional hats, which are still worn today. Internet and solar power are slowly reaching the community, but many young people still move to the cities to study or work. Despite this, the traditions of Laya remain alive to this day. Number 2, Wolong, China. In the province of Sichuan in China, you can find Wolong. It is located at an altitude of approximately 12,500 to 13,000 feet above sea level. Wolong is known worldwide for its giant panda conservation centers. But aside from this, it is also a real community that has been home to Tibetans for many generations. In the 1980s, one of the most important panda research centers in the world was built here. Since then, more and more scientists and conservationists have come to the area. They also continue to study here how climate change affects the mountains, forests, and animals living in the region. Despite the modern research facilities, many residents still maintain their traditional way of life. Wolong proves that nature, science, and community can coexist in one place. That's why it tops the list of the highest permanent communities in the world. Number 1, Senek and Ambaras, Ethiopia. In the Simien Mountains of Ethiopia, you can find the communities of Senek and Ambaras. These places are located between approximately 3,600 to over 4,000 meters above sea level. Most of the residents are farmers. They grow barley, wheat, teff, and other crops that can survive in the cold climate. The air is also thin in the area, so many people who arrive easily get short of breath. There are schools and simple health clinics, but in some communities, children have to walk a long way to attend classes. Despite the difficult life, families continue to live here and pass on their culture to each generation.